Hi, everybody. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney, and today is Monday, June 7th. Thanks for being here for your top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. If you were paying attention to the internet yesterday, you probably realized that YouTube star Logan Paul fought one of the greatest boxers ever, Floyd "Money" Mayweather, and a lot of people were reacting about it on social media. A lot of people making jokes about the fact that maybe it wasn't necessarily the best fight for Logan Paul, but they definitely both took a lot of money to the bank. And if you saw their reactions afterwards, you saw how Mayweather reacted, you saw how Logan Paul reacted. He said he doesn't want anyone to tell him ever again that anything is impossible. His exact words were, "I don't want anyone to tell me anything is impossible ever again." Obviously very excited that he went all 8 rounds in the exhibition fight. Now, there was no winner declared because it was an exhibition, so there were no judges and no one was knocked out. That would have been the only way to really declare a winner, as if there would have been a knockout. But a success for them both financially. So if you are enjoying the boxing that the Paul brothers, who are Cleveland natives, by the way, are bringing to the sport, you might be interested to know that Jake Paul, who is now 4-0, the other Paul brother, also a YouTube star, he's got a fight coming up against former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley. That is scheduled for August 28th. Something else you might have seen online, there is some pretty wild flooding happening at Tower City right now. We saw videos posted online of water pouring out of chandeliers, and Tower City said that it's a leak that occurred outside of the property, but it's definitely impacting what's happening inside of Tower City. So right now, it's closed. There are some tenants who have been affected, and so they are closing it just out of an abundance of caution right now. Now, RTA says that trains are still running, but passengers that get off at Tower City Station, you'll need to exit the building on the Prospect side only. The Euclid side exit of Tower City is closed, but you're going to want to check out those videos. We've got them on WKYC.com, and it's pretty wild to see that water kind of just pouring down, dripping off of the chandeliers, and you can really see it kind of collecting on the floor there in another video that we have on WKYC.com. Pretty big news in the medical world today. The FDA has approved the first new Alzheimer's drug in nearly 2 decades, and this is also a surprise because independent advisors said that it hasn't really been shown to help slow Alzheimer's disease, but the FDA did grant the approval. The drug developed by Biogen, and in the studies, it wasn't shown to reverse mental decline, but it did slow mental decline in one study. So the drug name is Aduhelm, and it's given as an infusion every 4 weeks. The FDA's top drug regulator acknowledged that there are residual uncertainties, that's a quote, surrounding the drug, but its ability to reduce harmful clumps of plaque in the brain is, quote, expected to help slow dementia. Now, under the terms of this approval, the FDA is requiring Biogen to conduct follow-up study to confirm the benefit for patients. So if that study fails to show effectiveness, the FDA could pull the drug from the market, though that's something that the agency rarely does. And we do not have a comment from Biogen on the expected cost of this medication. Now let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers. These first numbers come from Johns Hopkins University. Globally, there have now been a total of 173,411,234 reported COVID-19 cases and a total of 3,731,405 reported COVID-19 deaths. Here in the U.S. has 4% of the global population, 19.2% of the COVID-19 cases. Now that's down 0.2 of a percentage point from when we last talked on Thursday. And 16% of the COVID-19 deaths, that's down 0.1 of a percentage point from when we talked on Thursday. Those numbers here in the U.S., 33,368,567 reported COVID-19 cases and 597,760 reported COVID-19 deaths, getting very near 600,000 COVID-19 related deaths here in the U.S. In Ohio, in the last day, we saw 255 new reported COVID-19 cases. That's the smallest daily increase in almost a year in terms of new reported cases. On Friday, we did get updated data, and there were 57 more COVID-19 deaths reported in Ohio. That number now at 1,980, so very near total of 2,000 deaths here in Ohio. We've seen 69 new hospitalizations related to COVID in the last day, with 516 people currently hospitalized being treated for COVID. Out of those people, 164 are being treated in the ICU. We've seen 6 new ICU admissions in the last day. Taking a look at the vaccination picture here in Ohio, obviously that's a big topic of conversation with the Vax-A-Million well underway, that drawing meant to encourage people to get vaccinated here in Ohio. Close to 41% of Ohioans are completely vaccinated. That's close to 4.8 million people. We've seen 14,000 more people complete their vaccinations in the last day. More than 46% of Ohioans have started the vaccination process. That's more than 5.3 million people, and more than 6,000 people have started that process in the last day. Something that we've been watching since the deal was first made public in February is that Goodyear has officially completed its acquisition of Cooper Tire and Rubber Company. Richard J. Kramer, who is the Goodyear chairman, chief executive officer, and president, said this: "We are excited to officially bring Goodyear and Cooper together and unite our shared focus on customers, innovation, and high-quality products and solutions. This combination strengthens Goodyear's ability to serve more customers globally and provides increased scale to support greater investments in new mobility and fleet solutions." So Goodyear says this combined company will let them have more options and provide more value across the spectrum, make it easier for customers and consumers to choose Goodyear and Cooper branded tires. Now, with the closing of this deal, Cooper's common stock will no longer be traded on the New York Stock Exchange. And if you want to see a little bit more about what Goodyear expects to offer with this new acquisition, you can see that on WKYC.com. Now, we often see these ranked lists about the safest places to live. Well, there's one out for Ohio now. Safewise is a home security company. They put together a list of the safest places in Ohio in their 2021 Safest Cities package of information. Now, this is based, according to them, on FBI crime report statistics, population data, and crime rates. So the number one safest location in Ohio, according to them, Chester Township in Geauga County. One area to live that people are familiar with, Bay Village, Cuyahoga County, that's number 9 on the list. The total list has 165 places on it. They said that they calculated crime rates for every city in the state that met the population threshold, and it's based on the state's median population. And if your city is not listed, it's because they either didn't submit a crime report or didn't meet the population threshold. In case you're wondering where Cleveland ranks, 164 on the list of 165 places, and number 165 coming in dead last for the safest places to live in Ohio, according to Safewise, according to this data, Canton, my hometown, 165 on the list. If you want to check out where your area falls on the list, we've got that linked on WKYC.com. And it's a new week, so that means we have a new feature for Save Our Sauce from Doug Tratner. This time it's all about the best restaurants in Lorain County. One of them is called Chez Francois. It's in Vermilion. It's right on the banks of the Vermilion River. It's a very small town, cozy bistro, but very luxurious. And they've got French food, things like lobster bisque, cheese-capped French onion soup, sweetbreads in lemon butter, filet mignon, wrapped in puff pastry. And Chez Francois really puts the fine in fine dining, according to our Doug Tratner. Another place, the Shipyards, that's brand new in Lorain, and it's become a huge hit. It's on top of a pier at the Black River. Great weeknight spot for dinner, weekend night out, or a destination location. They've got weddings and events taking place in the main hall that used to be a factory. Very unique, kind of eclectic thing going on there. And another one, Yala's Pizzeria. This has been a spot where people come from all over the county rushing to get their pizza. You don't even have to put on real pants to do it. In 1954, they've been serving pizzas through the drive-thru to hungry people, and that's what they do. They have a pasta pizza, by the way, loaded breadsticks, and something you are going to want to check out if you're in Lorain County. Worth the wait in the drive-thru line. One more thing to let you know here before we go. It's Monday, so that means a new episode of the 3 Things to Know podcast is out. And this week I talk with our investigator, Rachel Polansky, with some behind-the-scenes stories of the making of her Bomb City, USA true crime mafia podcast. It is fascinating, and she tells me how she landed exclusive interviews from people who had never talked about this before, including the FBI agent who was there, who identified the body of the Irishman, Danny Green, huge Cleveland mobster. You got to check it out. Listen to the behind the scenes. That's on 3 Things to Know with Stephanie Haney. That's live now, so you can find that wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, that's it for your 3 News Now update for Monday, June 7th. I'll see you next up on What's New with your trending stories in the Clicking in Cleveland segment, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for more 3 News Now.